time together.
All right, let's see how we do here, man. So what we have going on, from what I can tell, is we have the GGA crew versus the Level Up crew.
Okay. So my crew just lost the Level Up crew. What happened was we were broads in Atlanta. So originally we were with Panda Bear.
Okay.
All right, and they sent me in first. I disagreed with that, but they sent me in first, and I took 4 stocks off the bat.
Nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then they decided to send in Carter. And the thing about Carter is that he doesn't really do well against like people that don't approach.
So like he has to be the aggressor.
Carter,
or they have to be the aggressor.
He went Falcon because we were going up against a Mewtwo. And Carter,
are you saying Carter likes to be the aggressor or likes to be the pass?
He likes to be the aggressor.
Okay.
Okay, but like you can't. It's very difficult to do that against Mewtwo unless you really know the matchup.
Right, because he's got those crazy tail hitboxes.
He's basically got a sword on his butt. Yeah. So Carter got like 3 stocks. Like you got straight up 3 stocks. So then I took 4. Dr. S took 4, and then we just had Kraid left. And Kraid is like this. He's really interesting. He's like,
now is it Kraid or Kraid?
Krad.
Cool, Kraid. That's the Metroid villain.
Kraid's the Metroid villain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kraid. That's Kraid.
I said Kraid, and he responded to me. But yeah, so he's the type of player that's like really good at certain scenarios, but like overarching, he can be a little bit weak and susceptible to having habitual punishes.
Sure, and because we don't have tags on here, obviously the Diddy Kong that you're seeing right now from Team GGA is JJ Rockets, one of the better players in Chicago here. Currently the number 7, but the new PR should be coming up pretty soon, and you will see a big jump,
at least
likely to number
JJ.
2, possibly number 3, behind Ned and Knight.
Yes.
So yeah, JJ always a strong competitor. What can you tell me about the Sheik though? Unfortunately, I don't know which of it is because he doesn't have an identifying tag.
Right. Wiseman. So I fought Wiseman first.
Okay.
We were both the 2 first picks, and Wiseman is pretty. He's a pretty solid Sheik.
Sure. What makes him unique on Sheiks? Obviously, we see a ton of Sheiks. We have Big Mac. We have Akiro back in the day, and then of course Sheiks across the nation. What makes Wiseman here special in Chicago?
So I gotta say that Wiseman is. You have a lot of like I call them discount Sheiks. They'll show up to tournaments and they just kind of pick Sheik because they're like, oh, I'm going up against Little Mac, better pick Sheik, and then they just kind of lose because they don't know too much about the character.
Sure.
But Wiseman is he clearly knows about the character. He knows the setups. He strikes me as the type of guy who's been playing Sheik for a long time.
Sure.
Sticking with it through the nerfs and everything. And I don't want to say there's nothing special about him, but there's like he doesn't do anything like absolutely unique. Unfortunate SD. But he does. He fundamentally overall he has a pretty solid Sheik.
So what you're saying is he's like the like he's like your average Sheik. Like he does everything pretty well, but nothing spectacular. Like with Zero Sheik, you have the amazing reaction time
of course.
and the edge guard. With Mr. R, you have the
technical
the technical prowess.
Yeah.
Always teching everything. Always figuring out what like the DBZ scouter, like figuring out exactly the power level and how to react to it.
Yeah.
Void has the stylish combos. Whereas Wiseman here, he's just sort of like right down the middle, does
well-rounded.
Everything kind of well. Like the 80 overall creative player in Madden or NBA.
Right. Yeah. He's totally 80 overall because and he's never. And obviously JJ knows this matchup just so well. Like at Poplar, he went up against Tyroy recently, and they went Game 5. No, Swift 3 stock. I'm predicting that GGA they're either going to go all JJ or they're only sending in 2 people. That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, no offense to the Level Up crew, but the GGA is called the Elite Four for a reason.
Of course.
We see JJ also featured in the Galloping Ghost Arcade Boys is Dan, Knight, and Demitis, who you just saw on the mic here. I do not think that we'll see anybody else besides JJ. I know.
Yeah, this is smart to go with their current pick, though.
It might be a little cold, but I mean JJ, the way he's been playing lately, the biggest problem with JJ, and back me up here, Guido, if you agree, is that previously, he hasn't really had that killer instinct where he's always kind of let people hang around with him. He never really finished out people.
I completely agree.
Because of that,
he drags it out.
Yeah, and because of that, he's gotten upset a few times because he's made like one mistake.
If you watch Combo Breaker last year, sorry for interrupting.
No.
If you watch Combo Breaker last year, his set against Skilliger, he ends up losing against Skilliger because he was incapable back then of just executing and eliminating somebody's stuff.
Sure. And now what we're seeing, though, from JJ is a little bit of the top player from the Midwest mentality that I'm sure like he probably got from Zenodo and Ally, where he just, to pardon the expression, he just steps on people's throats.
Yes.
Like he's like, you know what, once I have the edge, I'm going to push that advantage as far as possible.
And Iz or IZ, do you know how to pronounce his tag?
I think it's IZ.
IZ? Register me?
RZI.
Okay. RZI is the most solid player on Team Level Up, far and away. And I agree with him sending an RZI right away, or at least second, because then I feel like he'll either be able to get JJ down to last stock if he gets a nice little Kim, or maybe he'll even take a game off of JJ, which would be really, really good for the Level Up crew.
Now, I gotta say that because their first member of Level Up got 3 stock and JJ didn't lose anything, you know, you want to have at least one so you can kind of go in with a little bit of advantage in your second person. And so far, though, you know, we've seen the dominating performance from JJ. But on the other hand here, you know, I don't think RZI is going to probably take a game. But getting JJ down could set him up for the later things, because obviously I'm sure Knight's going to be their anchor. But Dan and Demitis do have like certain weaknesses that they could exploit if they, you know, catch a couple of breaks.
Yeah,
and Ness is one of the better characters to go up against Diddy Kong because with how elusive the monkey is, Ness has some pretty excellent finishing moves.
Yes.
Back throw with his up air.
If he catches a side B with an up air or with a back air, you know, that's one way to catch the super common recovery tool. JJ likes the side B on stage.
Yes, he does. That's a huge weakness. Thank you for calling that out, Guido. That's one of his biggest weaknesses that he's been trying to solve is his habit. He sort of just, not necessarily autopilots, but he kind of he falls into that bad habit, like a lot of players do. You know, he's been trying to iron that out. So yeah, that's a really good call out there, Guido.
What a read! That was a good read. Thank you, by the way. That's good. I played JJ at Poplar, and we discussed how my playstyle contrasts his playstyle after our set, and what he had to say was that I like to build a bubble, and then he also likes to build a bubble. Well, the thing about Sheik's bubble versus Diddy's bubble is that Diddy can down tilt you in his bubble and up smash you at 110% or whatever and kill you, and Sheik just kind of needles you in her bubble. And so the thing that most characters actually have to do in this matchup, barring a few such as Cloud or Zero Suit, who can just kind of, you know, they can stay at a distance and get some easy punishes from there. They have to get inside of Diddy's bubble and make him regret, like, you know, letting you access that. But it's getting inside the bubble and finding the chinks in the armor that's so difficult.
Exactly, and that's actually another great point that you're making there. With Diddy's his amount of tools, you know, being inside his bubble is dangerous. So if, you know, you pierce that, and you know, hey, you think I'm finally in on this person. Well, even if you do get in, that's not the safest place to be. Like, he still has a lot of things that come out very quickly, and a lot of tools to hit you with that just pretty much ruin your day. And what we're seeing out here is another dominating performance from JJ Rocket.
Right.
Just so far has not lost his stock to 2 different people. About to take his 6th one here. He is in dangerous percent though, so if RZI you know, can get the kill, at least set up his team Level Up to try and take out one person from this dominating Yellowfin Ghost Arcade team.
I predict that after RZI, they're probably going to send in Talkbach, and he's probably going to pick Mewtwo. Talkbach is who I had to fight round 2, and when we went up our crew against this team, and he's a good Mewtwo, but I think JJ has enough experience with Demitis and just his overall fundamentals to be able to maybe restock. Oh, okay, then there's going to say.
All right, so yeah,
good for RZI.
Just like we said, you know, Ness has the pretty not I don't want to say easy bait, because that's not right.
No.
But the very, very easy to confirm kills. Like, it's just one
kill
thing.
Buttons.
Yeah, like he doesn't have to, you know, like even with Diddy, like sometimes, you know, people can fall out of your up smash. People can, you know, sometimes you miss. Read the situation, and you know, you have to go D-tilt or banana into something, whereas Ness, you get in on them, all you have to do is one thing, and then they're dead. There's no combo, there's no, that's the win condition, is you just hit them once with whatever that move is, and they're dead.
What I want to see by RZI here, if he can get one more openings, I want to see an F throw to just balls out edge guard.
I mean, you got nothing to lose at this point.
Here we go.
There's the F throw.
This is how it starts.
Oh
my
wow.
God! He almost
was so
had
close.
it.
He went for it all in the absolute best possible moment.
They're both laughing. They both recognize that was a great.
That was
a good exchange.
That was about to be awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, top stars, for like you called it out perfectly. Like he needed to go for a forward throw or a back throw into just go for it, and he did. It didn't work out this time, but that's the kind of balls you need to try and make.
Exactly. Okay, and this is Talkbach.
Yeah, Talkbach. Tell us a little bit about Talkbach here.
So I fought Talkbach both here and at GHQ before, and Talkbach has a Ryu, he has a Mewtwo. I expect him to go Mewtwo right now. The thing is him as a player he's really, really good at, in the middle of a game, he will just switch everything that he's doing.
So yeah, do you watch anime at all? You can say no.
I mean, I know, I know the anime themes, and I know.
Have you ever? It's a specific show though, because you've actually brought up a couple of things from that show. It's called Kenichi.
Kenichi, no.
No, okay.
Educate me.
It's a martial arts anime, as most of them seem to be. But there is an interesting character. Like the main character of it has 7 different martial arts masters.
Cool.
And to beat the final boss in
Joe Barrels.
To beat the final boss in the season. What's happening is that the guy is memorizing all of Kenichi's moves.
Okay, cool.
And because, though, that Kenichi has 7 different masters to pick from, he's able to, instead of using his own fighting style, channel all 7 of those masters independently.
That's super anime.
And that's actually one thing that...
Yeah.
And that's, as Sturm just piped in with, that's Mega Man. And that kind of is. Basically, and what happened was every time that the opponent would get the download on him, he would instantly switch styles so that he couldn't get the read on him.
Neat.
And that's, I mean, if Talkbach has that same style, that can actually screw up a lot of people if you go from, the very aggressive rush down sort of never let you breathe style.
Right.
And that's what someone's expecting, to just shutting down and trying to play like the zone game. That can really mess with people's heads.
Yeah.
Simply because, you've been doing this knockdown, drag out, slobber knocker style of match. And all of a sudden you're removing your part of the aggression from that, and that can cause people to come in on their own accord and make mistakes.
Talkbach is having much more success.
And that's a good forward air.
In fact, he has the lead on JJ.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good start for Talkbach. And the Shadow Ball B reverse. That was absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Wow. Someone's up on JJ.
Like we just. Yeah. We were certainly expecting, or at least I was, that JJ to just run roughshod through this team because of the insane hot streak that he's been on.
Yeah.
But Talkbach is sort of cooling that down a little bit. Now, Mewtwo not a water type, but clearly he knows how to work the momentum matchup. And so, he's getting zoned out though. But yeah, he's working.
There's that bubble we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and a great ledge from the back air.
Very smart. So yeah, that's exactly just like the Kenichi, what's it called?
Yeah, Kenichi.
Okay, Kenichi. Very much. Oh, JJ! No!
He got him.
Oh my God!
He knows found himself in a bad spot there. He didn't need to be down there. He went.
No.
He kind of went big to try and seal this out, or seal out that second stock. To put his team in a better position. And Talkbach's just like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Here's the foot. Here's the footstool. Done.
That was sick.
That was disgusting.
And maybe JJ's saying, you know what, Dan, we're gonna have to fight some other more demanding crews. Maybe JJ's kind of like he's wanting to get the rest of his crew warmed up. You know what I mean? But yeah, Talkbach is really good at switching up his playstyle just in the middle of the match. That's where he excels. So he'll be downloading the whole time, and even if it's a little bit late sometimes, especially against a player of Dan's caliber who can just take a stock seemingly whenever he feels like it sometimes.
And that's actually a really good way to get into how Dan is as a player. Is that though Dan has some incredible wins over players of a very, very high skill level, including Kings of the North 4, we saw him beat Fallen. Which was the Rosalie from the West Coast.
Right, yeah, that was fantastic.
We've also seen him take games and sets off of a lot of the traveling players that come into the Midwest. He also can sometimes lose to people that he necessarily shouldn't lose to, and so that kind of makes him a momentum, streaky-based player. But when Dan gets rolling, he is the human highlight reel of Chicago.
Oh, of course.
He does more crazy things like not the rival stream, but the sister stream in Chicago is Unrivaled Tournaments.
Yeah.
The leader of it, Sage, he puts out a highlight reel every week, or every month, excuse me. And with how many times I've seen Dan on his highlight reel. I'm like, it just should be the Dan highlight reel. It
right,
should be
right.
the Chicago highlight reel. And that's just kind of how Dan is as a player. He's susceptible to momentum-based, like, you know, if you put him into the ground, he's got a tough time crawling out of the hole.
Right.
But, you know, if you let him have that edge, he's going to run all over you. So this going to Battlefield, you know, tell me why Battlefield was Dan's pick here.
I'm not actually 100% sure.
Come on, man.
Okay. Well, I was going to elaborate a little bit, but so obviously we have Mario has, I believe, it's 6 or 7 hits in his up B, and hits 2 through 5 have these very severe auto-link angles that can kill a floaty or any character really super early.
Sure.
Like, so if you ever see like the absurd early Mario up B kills, for instance, 6WX versus Ally at Paragon Los Angeles.
Sure, yeah, the infamous 0%.
0% kill.
Yeah.
That was all because Ally hit 6WX with hits 2 through 5 of one of them of his up B and wasn't able to link it into the 6th or 7th hit, which does the weak final knockback. And maybe Dan's banking on being able to juggle talkback up these platforms, and then Mewtwo being so floaty, he'll be able to get auto-linked off the top.
Sure, so what you're saying is that he has a very, besides his normal kill confirms with the up smash and the forward smash, and of course the dunk, which he's clearly going for right now.
Of course.
We also have a possible platform extension combo to kill by linking into those dangerous hits, the up Bs that you're saying. So yeah, Dan clearly knows his stages, and Mewtwo right now is doing amazing auto cancels on there, like, excuse me, these ledge cancels on these platforms, but so far Dan with the big advantage.
That was where I was going to counter, is because at Midwest Man 2, I was talking with Slow Joe a little bit, and we were talking just Mewtwo stuff because we were able to see Abaddon go in action.
Sure.
And it was probably just a spur of the moment thing, but Slow Joe's like, yo, Mewtwo's best character in the game on Battlefield. And I just start laughing. I'm like, why do you say that? He's like, because like Mewtwo is like playing Super Smash Bros. Melee when he's on Battlefield with his movement or whatever.
Good back throw there from Dan will finish it out, but you know, I do have to say that that's not far off from the truth.
Yeah.
After watching the crew battle between the Mario crew and the Mewtwo crew, normally, you know, Mario does love Battlefield for the reasons that you extrapolated on. But yeah, Mewtwo being able to move so quickly and with such precision with those platforms abound, yeah, you definitely want to keep him away from that. Now we have the final member of the Level Up crew sitting down here. I got to imagine that
Luigi, man.
Yeah, he's got a tough task on his plate. All he wants to do here is try and take out Dan. I find it highly unlikely that he could get through D- at night. All that being said, though, I think if he can take out Dan here, it'll be a personal victory, and that, you know, that'll give him confidence going into the qualification round that we have coming up right after the crew battle.
Another thing about how much depth went into Dan's counter pick with Mewtwo is that Mewtwo kills early, so on Battlefield, Mario's going to live longer, and he was able to use Rage, like you saw, up to 150%. And the thing is that Mario's up air kills, like, it scales really hard with Rage. And so, just overall, Mario's entire walking body can kind of become a big, like, kill move. Like, if you get a character like Mewtwo to a high enough percent. That could be said about most characters, but it's really exaggerated in that matchup, especially on Battlefield.
Sure.
Definitely, overall, the smartest counter pick possible by Dan.
Now, we are not on Battlefield this time. We are on Town & City, and interesting thing about this stage, I think, is that it actually spends quite a bit of time, around 40 seconds, like normally in any given match, in a Final Destination stage.
Final Destination.
And that's interesting because Luigi both, you know, definitely gains from having Final Destination because, and I've heard this from many Luigi mains and actually many haters of Luigi, that his fireball cancels everything. It's one of the better projectiles in the entire game.
Yes.
And because of that, having that Final Destination stage is going to help him out. And the other thing, when the platforms are there, he can kill pretty early with his powerful moves. Like we saw Mario's up smash there, Luigi has a similarly strong up smash, and of course, the Shoryuken that always hypes the crowd up.
And Sean has been finding the Shoryuken today. He managed to Shoryuken grade our final member of our crew, and it was fun. You know, we all had fun. We all popped off.
I mean, that's the best thing about crew battles is that they're always pretty much fun. Like win or lose, you know, as long as they're not a complete slaughter, they're normally pretty much fun for everybody involved.
And the only way I see Shauna really taking 2 or even 3 stocks off of Dan is if he's capable of utilizing Luigi's down B spike. That's super important in this matchup. And it's why Luigi, in anti and allies' opinion, still wins this matchup.
Sure. And now, do you mean Spike or do you mean the Gimp?
The Gimp. Like, you know, the weird auto-link angle it sends you at.
Yeah, where you, for those unaware, Luigi, interestingly enough, has a really, really strong edge guarding tool in his down B Luigi Tornado. If he can catch someone in that and off stage, he can actually sort of maneuver himself so that they fall out of it partway through before that last hitbox hits. That'll put them well below Luigi, and usually they try and get out of it with a second jump, or they can read the second jump, and they're just dead from there unless you're like Villager. So yeah, that's actually really smart call out there. But Dan is starting to roll here. He gets the dunk into the back air.
Dan's becoming that unstoppable
force.
Back
air.
What a back air. That was a great back air.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a Cade just for style factor, but yeah, he just closes it out with a drop kick, and Team GGA pretty much dominates Level Up crew.
Look at Luigi's eyes. He looks just like he's horrified at what just
he's
happened.
like, oh my god. My face just got blown on my ass.
Yeah.
So, Sturmy, who do we got coming up next? Tell me.
I think we got finals.
Finals, so that means Team GGA versus
Ned, SBF, Tyroid, and...
Do they not have a team name?
They do. It's Team Baiters.
Team Baiters?
Yeah.
As in like...
Bait you into doing things.
Oh, okay. Like with an I, not a T-E-R-S. Like a B-A-I-T-E-R-S, not just Baiters.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Who else is next?
Bait.
So SBF, Tyroy, Ned, and...
So they got
JT Wild. So it's almost kind of like the...
SBF is a JJ counterpick.
Yeah.
It was a pretty hard JJ counterpick.
Yeah. So for those that aren't aware, SBF has sort of, as well as JJ has been playing, SBF at every turn has just stifled demand.
Oh yeah. So many poplars, like JJ meets SBF, and then SBF just inexplicably.
It's not inexplicable. SBF is an amazing player, but he does have a little bit of a mental block against certain players and certain characters. And so because of that, we've seen him, have somewhat less success against non-JJ Rockets players.
Right, and I'm hoping that SBF can get over his big nerves of just kind of like, getting really nervous at monthlies and big tournaments. I hope that SBF can get over that. I'd like to see him do what he's capable of today.
Right, and he's such a nice dude, too.
Really so just a pleasant dude.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones,
is
what we're saying.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah. No, there's not a whole lot of those down here in Chicago.
No.
It's pretty much just the most wretched hive of scum and villainy.
We have a lot of shit posters.
Wait, are we esports? We're esports.